Alright, we are back again. We got a little scientist hiding away. Let's see what she has to say.
I don't understand it. The systems locked us out. But I'm not leaving without my data. I could lose everything. I'd never get a Nobel Prize. Then I had an idea. I worked on the security bots. Their CPUs store access codes. If we salvaged some, we could make something to hack the door. What do you think?
Alright, so she's telling us exactly what we're kind of planning ahead of about building a hacking device from the parts in the security bot.
Did you get those CPUs from the security robots?
Alright, and she's just waiting now for us to do that, so I'm gonna try and just clear up the last little bits here and there, and we will work on creating the hacking device. Alright, we are just gonna speed this up, since me crawling around at almost a snail's pace over encumbered is not something you guys want to see. That elevator actually leads down to that office area near the kitchen, but I am going to be going heading down this way a bit more to unlock a second little way of getting up to the Silo 3 near the pool and data farm. There was a locked door that we can go and unlock, so we are going to head down that way right now. So we have already gotten, I'm pretty sure we have all the parts for this hacking keypad right now, as we have taken the liberty of killing a few of the bots ahead of time. So now it's just left to get back to the base with all this loot that we got and hopefully get this going. We do have that message that was saying that the air feels strange tonight, so that's probably going to be a raid tonight that we'll have to deal with when we get back. So at least the good thing is that we do have another ways up besides going through the Silo 2 near the portal to Far Garden to get back up there now. So we have our own little shortcut to bypass a lot of that vent crawling and whatnot. And we're just gonna unload everything and get ready for a fight. So the airfield's different. That's my little warning that a raid's about to begin. From what I can tell, they can only happen when you are at your base, so they will actually save until you're actually near your base to start one. And I believe a crafting table is just considered a base, so they're centered around them. And we got a portal storm. Okay, so we've got a bunch of these pests that are going to be coming out and trying to wreck my stuff. Nope, not going to happen. Let's just get rid of them. Nope, come on. I will say, on the bright side, we're gonna have a bunch of dead pests, and that would allow, or not allow, that's gonna be some good amount of meat for me here. Alright, let's get to butchering. Alright, speeding things up again. You'll notice I am using a broken knife. It actually still works, it just does significantly less damage. You can use broken items, but I don't recommend it. We're just gonna prepare things, run some crafting recipes, and get ready to build us a hacking keyboard, which will be nice. We're gonna try and finish off that complete set of the makeshift armor as well to give us that boosted increase to our carrying capacity, because we are going to be carrying a bunch of stuff here soon. So that raid that just happened on our base, those just kind of are a random chance of happening, but as we progress through the game, we're going to get more enemies that can kind of spawn. I know they've reworked the raid mechanics several times throughout the early access and whatnot, so we're gonna probably be seeing a lot more than just pests here soon. Probably see those Exors that we fought in Fire Garden with some peccaries as well. But I do think it's a really cool mechanic to have raids happen to your base and whatnot. At some point when we start expanding a bit more, I'll have to maybe actually set up some proper defenses to protect ourselves, and maybe even get it to a point where our base can just fend off raids on its own. But that's going to be further down the line. Alright, so now let's take our time and build this hacking device. We're going to build a computation brick from that CPU that we got from the robot, which we need multiple of it for these electronics to make a controller, this infrared reader, I'm guessing something to scan with, and LCD screen. I'm pretty sure this is just like a screen, like a monitor device. But now I believe we should be able to put all of these together into one, I don't know, PDA pad, something like that, to finish up and create ourselves a hacking device for us to, well, at least get through like tier 1 security. So we're gonna hopefully get into that area that our scientist friend back in Silo 3 was looking to get through. Build a couple extra things here as well before we move on. I'm most likely going to be speeding up a lot of me rummaging through a lot of areas, as most of it's just going to be hidden away extra loot and not too much to see other than maybe a message log or two that will slow things down. But yeah, so without too much more, we're gonna finish up here with our crafting and make that glow stick for the screen. Let's see, I believe, yep, tools, hacking pad, and we are pretty much good to go. I think I got stuff. Oh, actually, yeah, we could see about upgrading. You can put bench upgrades, and these actually are fairly significant. That one upgrade in particular that we're gonna go for here is taking that Exor heart. We're gonna utilize that Exor's ability to teleport to make an item transporter, which is gonna be so nice for us, because now within like a set range, if the boxes are nearby, it will now pull from the boxes for crafting. Make ourselves a little heater in case it gets really cold. I can pull this first aid kit off. This is actually also a really significant one because early on healing's not that good, but now this is going to make a healing field around us to have us heal better. So yeah, we'll get ourselves equipped with our hacker and head out, in which I'm probably going to speed this up again. Alright, so I think I may just actually read you guys a little more of the journal entries that we've unlocked. Rather than actually showing you the video, I'll just pull up a small screenshot and read off what it says for you guys while everything's playing off in the background. Alright, starting off with the nocturnal anomaly. No real notes, just containment protocols are pending. Then we have IS-0184-A, the Exor. Containment protocols. All containment facilities for IS-0184-A require grade 4 impact shielding and or grade 5 blast dampening in accordance with GISP ratings. All personnel conducting research on this subject must wear grade 4 body armor with full electrical grounding, even when subject is sedated or unconscious. Direct interaction in any state is not advised. IS-0184-A should not be exposed to any flammable materials. Feed remotely. Another note saying a bipedal hunter with a sophisticated bioelectrical defense adaptation. The Exor was the first discovered in 1987 by Dr. Lenora Riggs. And then it looks like we're going to have to find out the rest of this on our own.
Dr. Derek Mance reporting. Although it remains essentially hostile, these techs need to be taught to respond to basic command, as Dr. Manbanco has demonstrated so performatively, as its biosystems work much more swiftly here. It learns extremely rapidly. Many on the executive committee will want a weapon, I'm sure. Their imagination reaches no further. But if we can just breed the aggression out, the peccary would make an extraordinary work beast. Our world has enough toys of war.
Demanding.
Keeping up with the Exors, we have IS-0184-B, the Exor Monk. Containment protocols. All IS-0184-B subjects require heavy shielding and perforation suppressing containment. All immurement sites must avoid geomagnetically and telecrucially active locations. Failsafe connection to backup power is required at all times, as even a microlapse in suppression fields risks containment failure. The subject cannot be approached unless sedated, and should be fed remotely, and it is weak to blunt damage. And just like before, we're going to have to do a little more exploration before we get further notes on this subject. For our people, we have Dr. Hilda V. Dixon, Gate TR operator and field researcher. Nothing more. But we have someone else here that we're about to meet.
Do you have any idea what's going on? Oh, have you only got blood flavors too? You can hide in here since those goons attacked that field technician earlier. Is he even still breathing? Something's happened to the perforation system. The portals have gone haywire, but that shouldn't be able to happen. I wish I knew what was happening in labs right now. Oh, I'm staying right here. Anything else is crazy. If the portal system is malfunctioned, there's no telling what could have found its way into the facility.
Alright, that was Dr. Stephen Stewart, a particle physicist, a militant realist and distant relative of James Clerk Maxwell, or so he claims. Believes that something serious may have gone wrong in the lab sector. You're probably not wrong, Dr. Stewart. There's definitely some bad things happening here. Also, back there is a really good place, the security office for a small base if you don't want to expand too much. And as you see, I picked up a security pistol, early game gun. Behind here also, we have a bobblehead collectible behind Warren, which is a gate security card. It kind of looks kind of like him. Moving on, we have Grayson Isling, the guy that we patched up. He's a material engineer. Grayson's talent for cajoling metals and other materials to perform in new and unusual ways has made him an indispensable member of Gates' mechanical engineering team. It is an eternal truth of the laboratory that those who create equipment and those who use it do not always see eye to eye, but Grayson is always focused on the job at hand, with very little interest in professional politics. There may come a time, however, when politics will not be ignored. Alright, moving on. I'm making this crossbow here, and I think I can show you guys a kind of neat little secret way to level up your reloading, as reloading is a skill. After I put this stuff away, I'll show you here. So you can, every time you reload, you get reloading experience. Now the thing is if you hold R, it brings up this dial here of different ammo types, but it also, if you don't select anything, it will unload your crossbow, you can see, or whatever you're carrying, and you can then reload it. And it's just a neat little trick. Now we have Dr. Alice Mayfield, the person that gave us the hacking tools schematic. She is a senior data scientist, protege of Martin Hellman at MIT. Dr. Mayfield went on to pursue a computer science doctorate. This, in turn, led her to becoming a minor star of the cryptographic theory and research field following her thesis on stochastic isolation of random initialization vectors. So now we can take this elevator right up to Silo 3 to the executive offices. Neat little shortcut for what we're gonna see ahead of ourselves as we prepare to see what happens in Silo 3. You can see Alice there, who we just were doing the little journal entry on. And we got an XOR guarding. Let's see if I can get the drop on it. Oop, guess not. Alright. It's gonna be a brief fight here, hopefully. Ooh, these guys are really deadly. Come on. And nope. Dodge. Almost dodge. There we go. Alright. Gonna just pick up the remains of things here as we get ready to enter what's ever's in Silo 3 to try and get those power cells that Grayson was telling us we need. Alright, open the door. Let me see if I just squeeze through. A little pest hiding in the corner. No, just stay down. Get our vacuum up to date. Ooh, blood trail. Free stuff. Terminate fog event. That'll probably be later. Who do we got here?
Scientist, do not reignite the rift. There are abominations within. My brethren crossed over to seal your folly. Is the cost of your knowledge not already clear? If you will not stop yourself, we will.
Okay, dude. That wasn't very suspicious of him. Some random soldier. I guess that XOR must have killed. Well, not killed him, but got him bleeding out or something. We obviously aren't gonna listen to him, so let's see what happens here. Ah. Alright. Another portal. Kinda looks a little different than the one that we had for Far Garden, so let's just prepare ourselves. Ooh, a hazard suit. That should come in handy. I'm gonna leave behind a bunch of stuff that I don't know if I'm gonna be finding duplicates of in Flat Hill. So, we got a journal. Power cell testing. Jim, I'm concerned we haven't field tested the power cells sufficiently. I told Anderson about them. He's worried we're relying on salt to keep Flat Hill in check. They've been tested. Containment systems, weaponry, even some of the personnel transport prototypes. And please, they're sodium-based accumulators derived from research into A2, not salt. The fuel cells are not the issue, if you get my drift. Alright, pests. Kathy, after studying IS-0173's internal structure, I'm coming round to the theory it shows clear morphic continuity with IS-0171. I agree we're looking at a more complicated life cycle than we thought. I was talking to Dr. Tengu. She suggested the low entropy of A2 could theoretically encourage metamorphic life cycles. They're more energy efficient. Yes, that would explain why everything in A2 proliferates so rapidly here. there's so much more available energy. Their metabolic rates must skyrocket. Have a little picture of a pest here. Exactly, they're probably starving. Poor things. Small little boy. Alright, we got tidy up. Can we get some gosh dang organization down in manufacturing? It's amazing we get anything done. I went down to see Varsa today, and I was tripping over crates on every walkway, which are very much not up to even the basic safety standards. I know we don't answer to OSHA, but we'll be answering to Keystone if we have an accident down here. It's a work in progress. Just try to keep your tie from getting stuck in one of the machines, okay? Yeah, it sounds kind of like a death threat. Alright. So, ooh, little ominous fog. I think this is where we're going to be wrapping it here. So we will head into the portal next time. See ya.